Hey, what's up everyone? So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my new tank that I set up, and then I've had some issues with this tank with just like 2 coral, and I also got 2 new rounds of coral, so I'm going to go through that. But first I'll kind of go through what's been happening in this tank and what I got going on. You can kind of tell that something ain't right with this green star polyp coral. So about a week ago I saw some bright neon green flecks floating around in the tank, and so I thought that was kind of curious. And then a couple days later, all of these polyps were retracted like this, and so I thought that was kind of weird and strange. So I took a look at it at night as well and found some Asterina starfish on it. And usually that wasn't a problem before. I had them in my I had this exact same colony in my 38-gallon Fiji cube and plenty of Asterina stars in it, and nothing was ever wrong with the coral. So I did find 2 on there, and those are the culprits right there, rest in peace. And so they I took them off. First time I just took them off and placed them throughout the tank, and somehow that exact same, the same 2 starfish got in the exact 2 same places that they were before. And you can tell, like right here, that's where one of them was, and you can tell that it was definitely munching. But I took them off, and then 2 days later I still saw flecks flying around in the water column and settling down on the rockwork. And what I think is happening is I think we have a corallivore, and you're looking at him right here. I think he's eaten the coral, and that's my suspicion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip off a little clippet of this, cut off the bad part that's been eaten away. And then I'm going to set up a 10-gallon tank to just for this particular coral, so it can heal and see if it can regain its polyp extension when there's not a damselfish trying to nibble at it all the time. So I did actually see him nip at it, and the polyps all retracted. So I've been trying to feed him more so that he's less hungry for coral, but feeding him about 2 to 3 times a day. And I'm also still doing my coral drip like every other day. Still seems retracted, so I'm gonna give it a little bit, but I think ultimately I need to make some more space in here anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and give this one its own tank so it can go undisturbed. And yeah, so the first batch of coral that I got, one of them is right here that Jake's kind of guarding, but so they told me this was Zygoniopora, and it was looking really stressed out in the store, and it was pretty translucent, and so it kind of stayed closed up for about a week, and then it started to extend its polyps. And I thought for a moment that it could just be like an Astropora with long tentacles, but we'll see what happens. When the blue lights come on, it's like a very bright green, which is definitely an Astropora color. So we'll see if these tentacles at a the tips start to get longer. My other Goniopora over here are doing great. And then I also got this right here that it's closed up. They didn't know what it was, but after doing a lot of research and photo comparison, I believe it's a symposium, which is really cool. I haven't seen it a whole lot, and I'm gonna try and get a picture when the polyps are out. But the polyps do go out quite a bit, and so the other coral that I'm having an issue with is right back here. Anyway, it's the burning banana stylus Aniella. I had it basically in the wrong place. I had it up on this rock next to this piece of hirsuta, and definitely too much light and too much flow. For whatever reason, I thought that it was in close relation to Porites, so it liked high light and high flow. I took a look on Tidal Garden's video about it, and it said the opposite: lower light and lower flow. So I put it back there, but the tissue was already receding. I don't know if it's going to bounce back or not, so we'll see what happens. I did place this Fabia right here, and I think that's about all the other changes that I have. These two Blastos back here are doing great. The Merletti on the right is definitely stinging the Welsie on the left. As you can see, it's kind of like a chunk. So I'm gonna be moving the Welsie out a little bit to a different frag plug, but Toadstool is doing great, so are the clove polyps, and everything else is doing really well. So the second batch of corals that I got is from Coral Vault, and it's right here. I got 6 different kinds of Cyphastria, and then from an auction I got 2 different types of Fabia. So I will be getting those into the tank here shortly. But first I will show you my other tank that I just set up. All right, so here it is. This is a 1 gallon Pico tank from PNW Customs. I got this when I traveled from Oregon to Texas, and I put a bubbler in it and wrapped it in saran wrap, put a couple corals in there, and when I stayed the night at a hotel, I just like plugged it in and I gave it some light for a little bit, and then in the morning I wrapped it up and back on the road. So I will just clean the glass, because it's been about 2 weeks since I initially set it up, and I set it up because I found some little baby mushroom spawns that started in the other tank, and so I thought it would be a good opportunity to use this as like a little mushroom baby nursery. And my daughter was in town, so it'd be a good idea to get her involved and have her help me set it up. So we went to a local fish shop, and she really likes sexy shrimp, so we got 2 sexy shrimp, which are in there and doing very well. And their names are Cherry Bomb and Sunflower, and yeah, they're doing very well. And we also got another mushroom, as well as this mushroom rock was in the other tank too, so I figured we might as well put it all in and see how it did. There has been, even though it does have a nice lid and everything on it, it does have a little bit of evaporation, but for 2 weeks it's basically been running, and back in the sump It's only dropped maybe like a half an inch below the water line because I have it marked. So the only other thing that I needed for it was a little, I think it's like a little 25 watt heater from Amazon. And because originally I was running it without one, but it was getting just a little bit too cold. So I got one of those and put it on, and it's doing really well. I'm about to do a 100% water change with some of the other tank water, and just keep on cycling it through here whenever I do a water change on the main system. And that's pretty much it. Didn't have room for all the Cyphastria on the rock, so one of them's right there. I moved the Welsey, and then the rest of them are right here. We got the Jingle Bells, Skittles Bomb, Bizarro, Meteor Shower, and Blood. And for the Favia, I went ahead and mounted them. That is the Pico de Gallo. And then we got over here, I'll get a better shot for you, but that is the Rainbow Venom Favia by Coral Vault. One other thing I forgot to mention was I also got some sea grapes from the local fish store when I got these two. So anyway, that's it for now. I'll just do some B-roll to close it out, and I'll see you on the next one where I'll be setting up my 10-gallon tank. Later, y'all.